It is a pleasure to be
It's
here.
a, yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on Wealthy Wednesdays. A huge welcome to you. So, why don't we start straight away with your story? Tell us a little bit about who Leah is and what's her story.
Thank you so much. My name is Lia Zorzou, and I help leaders all around the world to find their true amazing selves, identify who they truly are and love themselves, and make their dreams a reality. Okay. My story, though, started 7 years ago now. I was running my tech awarded startup. I had just incorporated the business. I had graduated from the bigger accelerator in the world. And I was living my dream. I had a team of 6 people. We had created a product. I was talking to investors, okay? And it was, it was the first time in my life that I was a businesswoman. I always had it in my mind, and so I had created it. And I couldn't sleep. I had lost my sleep of the excitement. I had notebooks next to my bed, and I would wake up in the middle of the night with ideas. And at that time, my sister, a younger sister with 2 young kids, recently divorced, was diagnosed with a rare form of disease, a sarcoma, a kind of cancer, but very strong, okay, very bad. And my reaction to my sister's diagnosis was to pause my life, stop my business, leave my family. And for 3 months, I was running with her to the doctors. I was taking her test results and I would take them on my own to the doctors because at one point she said, I don't want to go to anyone else. And in the evening, because I have a PhD and I come from the academia, I was doing research online. I was researching articles. I was researching institutes, the best institutes that she could go, okay, to get the support she needed. So 3 months later, my sister had a plan and a team of doctors, and I was left feeling depressed at home, having lost my interest and my passion about my business. I couldn't take care of my son, who was 4 years old at that time. And the relationship with my husband was at least shaky. So I wasn't happy. And it was the first time in my life. I mean, I kept having this thought, I don't like this life. I don't like this life. What am I doing wrong? Okay, because I was married. I had a really good jobs until then. I had, got a decent amount of money, but not so much though. I had traveled around the world. I had done things, okay? I had a child. I had what everyone believes that it's a nice life to have. But then I was left miserable, alone, and I was thinking, what am I doing wrong here? I'm doing something wrong. I don't like this. So for the first time in my life, at 40 years of age, I asked for help outside of my friends and family, and I was very lucky to remember a lady, an old lady, that I had listened years ago, and I was impressed by her experience. Okay, so I remembered her and I went to her and I discussed with her what was happening. And she said, come on, you need to join one of my groups. You are ready. And through experiential behavioral work, and this is what I use in my leadership program now, group work, very small group work, I started realizing that since the moment we are born, our parents give us roles, specific roles, okay, that serves them and their reality and their marriage and their life, okay. So when I stopped my life and ran to save my sister or to help my sister without being asked to do so, I was fulfilling my role. I was always the doer. I was always the person who would never ask for help, who would never need help because I was supposed to have all the answers and succeed in everything. So my role was to go and save her, go and help her. My sister's role, on the other hand, was always the person who would, all of us would run to support because she couldn't do it on her own. But this is never true. We are born exactly the same, with exactly the same capabilities in life. So I started realizing and being opened up to the truth that actually although I had succeeded, I wasn't leading my life, the life I wanted. And actually, I could see the results. I didn't have a happy marriage. I didn't have the money that I wanted. I didn't have the job I wanted. Okay. So suddenly, I remember my mentor said, Lia, you can now choose who you want to be. You can now choose how you want to behave, what you like, what you don't like. And I remember it was like, all the lights came on that room. My first thought was, oh my God, this is gold. I'm doing this. I'm going to check and question everything, all my beliefs. And the next thought I had was, after I do this for me, I'm helping others, because immediately I could see all the people around me, friends and family and colleagues. I could see so many fulfilling roles and not actually leading. So I said, after that, I'm helping other people. So unfortunately, the work that I did helped me be a true sister to my sister the last 2 years of her life. Not a savior, but a sister. I was there for her to listen. I wasn't there to find solutions. I wasn't there to help her. I wasn't here to do anything. I was just next to her. And I'm so glad that we managed to have a relationship, a sisterhood relationship. We managed to have a relationship outside of what others wanted us to have. So I'm really happy about that. She passed away a few months ago. And now, for the last 10 months, I have created an amazing program that I help leaders find who they truly are to get exactly what they want. I help them dream, I help them dare to dream. And then I help them make their dreams a reality.
Wow, what a story. First of all, I'm so sorry to hear about your loss.
Thank you.
What a journey. What a journey. Talk to us a little bit about the moment when you experienced that clarity and you thought, oh, all the lights have come on.
Yes. Yes, it was, there are specific moments in our lives that are pivotal. We remember them for different reasons. And that moment was the first time that actually I could take the mask off. I realized that I was wearing what other people wanted me to wear. So I was fulfilling other people's expectations. And I felt a huge weight being off suddenly. Suddenly I felt taller, I felt lighter, and I felt actually I could start being who I really wanted to be. And what before I was very strong opinionated. I wouldn't actually be flexible at all. And that allowed me, right that moment, to actually question my life. In the group, I realized that my reaction to my sister's illness wasn't what everyone else would have done. I remember one person said, "You left your job? I would never have done that." And I was like, oh my God. So not all the people would do exactly the same. I thought this was the only way. And suddenly I started seeing different ways to live our lives. And I let myself be open to change opinions. For me, that has been pivotal, because now I can connect more truly with other people. Mm. So when someone comes with something that I don't know, a new perspective, I'm open.
Mm. Yeah.
Anytime I can change opinion, I can change perspectives. And this gives me an amazing flexibility to fulfill my dreams. So there isn't only one way to do things. There are millions of ways to do things.
Yeah. So, you said something really powerful there, Lia, because you talked about taking off the masks. So what were some of the masks that you removed as part of your transformation?
I make lots of mistakes, and there are so many things that I don't know. Before, I thought I knew everything and I had to know everything. Okay. And
I
that
hear you.
actually, that actually had left me feeling so alone. What I really gained from finding myself was to start connecting truly with other people. Because I started connecting truly to who I was. So then, because I started loving who I was and I started recognizing who I was, I could truly say that this is me now. Because I believed that I loved myself then. So I could say, it's okay if you don't like me. I like me. I started to like me. And the mask, until then, I wouldn't wait for people to ask for help. I would run straight away to give help.
Yeah.
What that meant was I was putting others, and this is what I did with my sister, I was putting others top on the priority list, and I was below. And this is not the right way to lead your life. You can only give when you're full,
Yeah.
when you have overflow of what you have, and actually you have spare and you can give and support.
Yeah.
And the other thing fundamental that I learned was that I'm not responsible for other people's behavior. Each and every one of us behaves in a specific way because of their journey and their experiences and their life. I was raised in a house where, for example, my mom would say, "Oh, you make me sad." So I had that responsibility to make sure that I wouldn't make something, I wouldn't behave in a certain way because my dad or my mom would feel upset or sad. So I thought I was controlling their lives.
Yeah.
And this is a huge weight to have on your shoulders. And now I say to people, and you can come and you can shout, you can scream, whatever. I know that I may have triggered something in you, but I'm never responsible about how you behave. And this has made me relax.
Amazing.
Oh, there are so many things that we carry without realizing.
Yeah.
And actually this caramel that we have in our mouth, I'm helping others. I am connecting and I have empathy. I hear this so much. I have empathy. I suffer because the other person suffers. This is not empathy. This has nothing to do with empathy. So, we believe that we have we are worthy when we give. We are not good people if we take care of ourselves. I mean, there are some myths there that we need to get rid of to actually start taking care of ourselves, because no one is coming to save you. No one's here for that, and no one should come to save you as well. So you can only change your life. You can only save yourself. I remember that a moment that my mentor said that actually you cannot save your sister. She said, this is not your responsibility. And until then, I thought I could. That's the crazy thing about it. So this has taught me how to connect different with my son, with my husband, with my friends, with my clients now. And I think what truly helps them is the fact that I have been where they are. Yeah. They say, "Oh, Lia, you have nailed this. You found exactly what I had in my mind." And I said, actually, I'm not a magician. I just remember how I was feeling when I was in your shoes.
Yeah, there's so many amazing things that you said. That moment when we decide to love ourselves, or when we realize that we are amazing and we are ready to love ourselves, oh my God, that's so magical, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And actually, you realize that you don't need anyone else to love you, to accept you, because now, for example, I had a group session last week, and my clients, my amazing clients who I love, they said, what if my parents say this? What if my wife says this? And I said, does it really matter? if you really want to do this, if you feel passionate about it, who cares what they will say? So yeah.
Well, that's always the easy thing, isn't it? What are my parents going to say? What's my spouse going to say? What will my kids think?
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. You brought up something really important about connecting with other people and stepping away from the need to rescue them. So before you were a rescuer, but now you aren't.
Okay, when we run to save someone else, the message you send to them is that they are not capable of taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
And this actually creates feelings of resentment and anger from these people. They don't like that. Okay. You may feel the energy to do it and the will to do it because you are programmed in a certain way, but actually you are not helping. When someone decides to ask you for help, first of all, when you are asked, you can say yes or no. And if you have you as top on your priorities list, you will take care of you first. And if you are happy, you can give. But you have an option there. Okay. If someone asks you, you can say yes or no. If you run, you don't have an option. If you believe that this is what you should do, you don't really have an option.
Yeah.
And actually, you take from them, when you run to save them, you take from them the step that they need to take to say, okay, I'm responsible now and I'm deciding to take the next step, to ask for help. And that's why in my, the way that I connect with people who would like to join my program is actually to go through a discovery call with them. I need to understand exactly if they are ready to commit.
Yeah.
And you show commitment in two ways, with investing time and money. So if they are ready to accept full responsibility, and then we can, and I'm sure I can help them, then I will share information about my program. But I don't do it if I feel that the other person is not ready. So if someone comes to me and says, oh, COVID has happened and my parents did that, and I could never change my life, he's not ready. They're not ready to join a program that it is results orientated and can change your life straight away. So what I would like also to say here is that you can change the trajectory of your life in a millisecond just by making a decision to do so.
Yeah.
You don't need to have the how until you decide that you want it. For example, I use a phrase here, if you want to go to Paris, do you have all the money and the plans before you decide to go to Paris or after? Firstly, you need to decide to go to Paris and then you will find the way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That moment that you described, the moment in which we make a decision, that is so powerful, because once we decide, then we can do what we need to do to make that come true.
Exactly. You're so right. And I have a specific section in my program about making fast decisions. And we worry so much. I think when my clients come join the program, they keep saying, I am in limbo. I cannot decide. I cannot go forward. Of course, you cannot go forward if you don't decide.
Or is it the other way around? We can't go forward because we aren't able to decide.
Yeah, I mean, it works both ways.
Yeah, we aren't able to decide because we can't go forward. It's a mess.
Yes, it is a mess because they say, I'm in limbo, they worry so much, they cannot make decisions, so they cannot go forward. And then you need to learn how to just starting to make decisions. And we start to find out why you cannot. What are you afraid if you cannot make really a decision? I mean, making mistakes, what others will say and think. There is so much noise in our lives coming from others' beliefs and what other people will say or think about us. And I think this holds so many people back. And I'm sure you have seen this in your work as well. Just worrying about what others would say and would do leave us really we don't allow to live our lives. We don't give permission to ourselves to live our lives, I believe.
Yeah. So how do we start stepping away from that noise that you talked about? What are some of the practical things we can start doing?
I just ask one question usually. What do you want? What do you really want?
What do you really want?
And I help my clients at the beginning by saying, get rid of all restrictions, get rid of your marriage, COVID, the financial situation where you live right now. Forget about it. Whatever has happened belongs to the past. There is nothing stopping you now. What do you really want to do? And you know what? It takes time for people to dare to say it because they reject what they want straight away. Even if before they don't let the thought come, they reject it, they stop it. So I have to dig really deep and ask them again, and how do you feel? And connect with them and their passions. And suddenly they may say, oh, I always wanted to become a writer. And I have an amazing client in the program that within 50 days, she decided to become a writer. She wrote a book and she published the book in 50 days. So if you know what you want, no one and nothing can stop you.
Yeah, incredible. 50 days is amazing.
Yes.
Take the decision, write the book and publish it.
And it was very funny because I had to count the days. I couldn't believe it because I remember her saying, I have decided to write a book. And then the next day, she sent me a script. She sent me a book. And I thought that she had written that weeks ago. And she said, no, I wrote it overnight. So she decided and she wrote the book because she had it in her mind for so many years.
Yeah.
And straight away, she produced something. And then 50 days later, it was actually a hard copy book and it was selling on Amazon. And, this is an amazing example to see actually, if someone wants to do something, no one can actually affect them.
Yeah, so true. It's often we ourselves who would get in our way. And a lot of times it's not pleasant to accept that, but essentially that's what happens.
Yeah, when I started working on myself, my mentor would ask me, how do you feel, Lia? And I would say, I'm fine. Well, something like this. And this is what my clients say now. So I couldn't connect with my feelings at all.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to connect with my feelings. I didn't know what feelings were. She would say, are you happy? And I wasn't sure. Sad, especially the sadness and the angriness. I think I had never expressed it before. Because I was raised in a house where when we were sad or angry, my dad would say, oh, come on now, stop. So I had learned that I should suppress everything.
Yeah.
So now, when I'm working with my amazing clients, and this is the fundamental basis of my program, is connecting to your heart, connecting to your feelings. How do you feel? They say, this is my phrase. I ask them this every single time they will tell me something. I will say, how do you feel? Because the feeling is that actually will help us understand what our thought is. So by understanding how we feel and expressing our feelings, we can see actually if the thought that we have helps us or not. So we can change it. I mean, I was having a similar conversation earlier today because someone said something about mindset. And I said, you know what? You cannot lead your mind if you cannot connect with your heart. So for me, and just before we jump on this call, I had the pleasure to see your live interview and hear you talking about the heart, and how fascinating it is. And I can truly connect with what you were saying because I think this is the essence. I have found the rhythm of my life. So connecting with your rhythm of your heart, you can actually connect with your rhythm, find a rhythm for your life. What works for you?
Yeah, that's so beautiful what you just said there. Connecting with the rhythm of our heart, we can find the rhythm of our life.
Yes.
Wow, so beautiful.
Yeah. Actually, you helped me with your interview just a few minutes ago because I always want to become a dancer.
Ooh.
And you asked in that video, actually, what did you want to become, and is this relating to what you're doing now? And straight away, I thought of the rhythm, and I thought of flow, and I thought of music and everything that I love. And suddenly it was, it clicked. So actually, I need to thank you about this as well.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's the thing about stories. One person starts sharing their story, and that ignites ideas in other people's minds. So yeah, stories, that's how they connect us and bring us together. So tell me a little bit about what happened. Why didn't you become a dancer?
I never had the choice. I was 17, 18 years old when everyone was going to the university to study something, and I was the doer in the family. So I think no one actually told me that I could go to dance school. I have been dancing since I was 6 years of age. I was 18 and I was keep dancing classic ballet and modern dance. And actually, because I love dance, I have been dancing since then. Not recently that much, but I have joined other groups because dance was always a part of me. But back then, no one actually gave me the opportunity to do so. And I believe I wasn't that courageous to say, okay, I will go and do the dance. Maybe I was so much feeling my role of the bright, good daughter.
Yeah.
That I didn't see any other option. They said go to the university. They said then you have to do a PhD, master's, because an MSc everyone was continuing with their education. And actually, because I had a scholarship as well, I had won a scholarship. I did a PhD as well, so I went all in.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, my studies are still helping me because I come from the social science and environment.
Yeah.
And now in my program, I use systemic dynamics. So I use the dynamics of systems to work on behavior. So everything, relates to the other, but you need to go through every step to finally get there.
Yeah. Yeah. What you said about you never realized that you could go to a dance school or that was an option. This kind of story shows up so many times in our lives when we think, oh, but there's no other option and we can't see anything beyond the blinkers because of our experience or because of how the choices look. But often there is a choice. Often there's a choice.
So there is always a choice.
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, I believe that my sister got ill because she thought she didn't have a choice, unfortunately. I use an example when I want to help someone to see that there are other options. I invite them to imagine that they are standing on a tile, a floor tile, okay? So when you don't have an options, you feel that you cannot step out of this tile, okay? And I tell them, you have to take one leg and put it to the next tile. At that moment that you will realize that you don't have an option, you always have an option. So imagine that you are getting out of the tile and you put your leg on the next tile. And I think only if, just doing this, using their imagination, it helps to see, oh, there is another tile there. There is something else out of me. I may not being able to see it, but it is there.
Mm. Yeah. So if we are on our own, for example, let's say we are in a space where we feel very stuck and we truly believe that there is no choice. Mm-hmm. There's always a choice, but we are not able to see those choices and we think, oh, there are no choices. What are some of the things we can do to start seeing those choices? Obviously, reaching out for help and working with the coaches is the easiest way to do it. But some people would try things on their own. So what are some of the things?
Okay. Actually, I believe that asking for help, it's one of the hardest things that people cannot do easily.
Yeah.
So my first tip to everyone would be to ask for help. Whoever they can connect with. For years, I thought I could do this on my own. And actually, I am writing posts about this, asking for help, and I'm running workshops, helping women and men to ask for help, okay? I think asking for help is fundamental if we see that we follow patterns and we get the same results. So if this is something that repeats over and over again, you need help. It is, the result that you have shows you that actually you cannot do this on your own.
Yeah.
So the first step I would say to them would be ask for help.
Yeah.
Okay. Stop reading books, podcasts, and everything, because all this is information and we have knowledge. It's not that we don't have the knowledge. We have read books, we have listened to podcasts, we have read articles, we have watched webinars, okay? So we have the knowledge, but there is a gap between knowledge and doing. And this is where help is needed to help you see what you actually are doing and to help you change what you're doing.
Yeah.
So asking for help would be top on my list. And then the second thing I would say would be, you need to put yourself top on your priorities list. You are not second, you are not third. You need to do that. It is your responsibility to do that. This is not, I hear being selfish is a bad thing. I hear this a lot. And actually, I don't believe this is true. I think being selfish means that actually you need to take care of you first so you can have more to give.
Yeah.
So you need to be taking care of you and you need to put yourself top on your priorities list. When I ran to save my sister, I was saying with my actions that I'm not top on my list. I don't care about my business. I don't care about my family. I don't care about my kid. I believed that my sister's illness and health was top.
Yeah.
And this can never be helpful to you and your life and to your family. And the third thing that I would say is make a decision. Learn that if you are in limbo, whatever it is, you need to make one decision, even if it is wrong. And actually, in my world, in my sphere, there is nothing wrong. Because even if something doesn't work straight away, it shows you that this journey, this door is closed, or you should close the door and you can go to the next one. I help my clients, I tell them, imagine a corridor with many doors, right and left. You go in one, you see if this works out. If it doesn't, it's better to learn faster than it doesn't and later.
Yeah.
Close the door and continue.
Yeah.
So I would, as a third tip, I would say, learn to make fast decisions. And actually asking for help this is a first step that you can make, because then someone else can help you do this.
Yes. Yeah. The question is, can we do everything on our own? Possibly we could, but it's just going to take so much longer, and it's going to be so much harder. And just because we are doing something the hard way doesn't make it more worthy. It doesn't make it worthier.
Oh my God, what are you saying now? Oh my God, you have nailed it now, Parul, because I have a dear friend, actually, who deeply believes that the harder way you choose, the better person you are.
Yeah, the worthier you are. You have earned it.
Yes. And I don't resonate with this at all.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say is that, and I will change a bit the atmosphere, but I feel the need to do so. Actually, my sister didn't do it on her own, and she lost her life. So, ask for help. Yeah, find a way for someone to help you, and there are always people to help. You need, though, to take responsibility and ask for it. I realized so many things after my sister died, and I was really in pain, because she was suffering and she didn't share anything actually. So maybe sometimes we are not supposed to live life on our own. There is a reason for that. Okay, we are as human beings, we're intellectual human beings, and actually we thrive in communities. There is a reason for that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so connect, ask for help, take one tiny step to make a call or to ask for. And sometimes I keep hearing people saying, oh, you will never understand me, you don't know how much I have been through. And you will be amazed of how much pain and experience people have because of their journeys and because of their life stories.
Yeah.
And even though I'm not actually saying out loud all the time what has happened to me, there is so much information and wisdom and experience in there that actually I may say something to someone and change their life on the spot. And I'm sure you can do the same.
Just like that.
If they're open
and
ready to welcome something new from what they know and they have been knowing, and if they're open to change what they believe, I think, that's why I believe your clients as well, but my clients get results instantly, because suddenly someone gives them permission to operate in another way.
Yeah.
And, if I remember myself, I wouldn't dare to do anything else back then. So just by having someone saying, you can do this, why not? Suddenly gives you so many other options.
Yeah. And actually, if we think of a typical coaching conversation, the kind that you're referring to, the client tends to think that it's the coach who's helping them with the permission, but actually they are the ones who are giving themselves the permission, because we can't give anybody permission to do what they want to do with their life.
They find the courage to do it. Yeah, exactly that. And when people say, my clients say, thank you, Lia, you have helped me so much. I say, you do this. You are doing the work. You are taking the steps. You have the commitment and the persistence. I love that you brought this up, because what I do is I ask questions. I ask the right questions, and I let them find the answers. And it's not that I teach them a mechanism of how to understand how they behave, but actually they find and they choose what it works for them. I will never say you need to do that. I will say, actually, this is a process, but you need to make it your own now.
Yeah.
But exactly as you said, they are changing their lives.
Yeah.
They are taking the steps. They are doing the work, and they should claim full ownership about this as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because if they don't take that ownership, then nothing is going to work anyway.
And they don't like it when I say it, but I say, this program is an annual program. After this, you will be having, you will be following what you have learned, and you will be leading your life on your own. And say, no, I can't do this, and they need to learn to do this. Okay. And actually, the amazing thing, and I would love your feedback on that, is that I allow myself to change every single day with them. So I'm transforming as well as a leader and as a business person and as a businesswoman. As I'm working with them. And I find this fascinating. What about you?
Indeed. It is not a static relationship that we are in.
Yeah.
When we facilitate, when we coach, we learn from each other. And how this whole thing works is we facilitate transformation for them. And in the process, we facilitate transformation for ourselves.
Exactly. And this allows them to see how they can relate with others as well.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, they believe that we are gods. And then I say, okay, you need to forget about me now. And actually don't think about what Lia would do, but actually think what I would do now. What do I want to do now? Yeah.
Yeah, this reminds me of a conversation from an actual coaching call. And I was saying something to this lady. She works in the corporate world in a leadership position, and she suddenly said, I can see what you are doing there. And I thought, oh, what did I do? Because she said, I can see what you're doing there. So, okay,
Tell me.
What did I do? Tell me. And she said, you are teaching me how to look after myself instead of doing it on your own. You are helping me become self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And I said, that's exactly what I want you to learn, so that you can be there for yourself, so that you don't need me in the future.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly. Someone has helped us when we needed help.
Yeah.
And I feel so grateful and privileged to be in a position now to help others. I think this makes me get out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning and, support my family, support my clients, welcome new members. This is why I do what I do, because I want to be, and I am, someone that can help you get what I got. And the other assumption that many people make is that they see certain people and certain kind of success and they say, oh, I could never do that. And I keep raising this up. I am an ordinary woman who didn't have so many things, okay, who was unhappy.
Yeah.
And now I still am an ordinary woman, but I'm doing extraordinary things, and you can do it.
Yeah.
And I think this is very important for people to understand that it's not a cult. It's not certain characteristics that make us happy and successful. Okay, there is a system, there is community, there is mentorship, there are so many things. And I don't know about you, but I'm investing half the money that I earn to retrain, to self improvement for myself.
Yeah.
I cannot live without now. This is a lifetime process.
Yes, I do that too. And if I happen to mention it to one of my clients, then they would say, oh, but you are a coach. Why do you need a coach? And I would just make a joke of it and say, well, everybody needs a coach, and all coaches have coaches. At least the good ones do.
Yeah, just make, yeah, I don't know. We need to find what makes us happy. And you know what? I'm doing this amazing program now. I'm having the time of my life. I'm helping people, and I will help more. On the other hand, I'm open. 5 years from now, I may want something else.
Yeah.
Right? So we can change opinion. We can actually have 5, 6, 10 careers if we want in our lifetime.
Yeah.
And it is okay.
Yeah. 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 This is my 1, 2, 3, third career.
I think, yeah, I am on the third as well.
And this is despite the fact that what I studied in my undergrad, 4 years full-time degree, I didn't work in that field at all. I qualified as a pharmacist, completed the degree,
Okay.
and realized it wasn't for me. It was too lonely working in the labs. So I stepped away from it, then tried computers and programming for a year. My God, I was such a disaster. Then got into HR, which was great after doing a master's program. And from HR to coaching is a more, what you say, natural progression.
Yes.
But it's very different because then I was a corporate employee and now I work for myself. So it's been a very interesting journey.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I mean, I had a few different roles before. I was teaching in the university, and then I worked in the corporate world, not corporate business, small business. I was always fascinated by renewable energy, and I went traveling all around the world for 14 months.
Wow.
And then when I came back, I wanted to run my own business, and I thought that I needed to educate myself. So I got trained, and then, I started, and then life hits. And life says, actually, you have a plan, but life has another plan for you.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. And you need to become flexible, even though you never were.
Yeah, what you're saying resonates so well. Okay, now I see what you mean by how a fatal diagnosis took one sister's life and saved the other. Because when unfortunately your sister went through sarcoma and went through her experience of sarcoma, you set out on this massive personal transformation journey for yourself.
Exactly. And it has been a journey. Okay. I remember for a couple of years, actually, trying to get on the stairs to go to do this work for me. It was becoming harder and harder. I had to go through so many feelings because you suddenly realize that whatever you knew, it's not what you thought.
Yeah.
So, it has been an amazing journey. And as I said, before actually it leads me here, it gave me an amazing privilege to be a sister. And especially during that time, I'm sure my sister felt it and felt the difference, although at that point she couldn't actually start her own journey. But, she felt the difference. And for me, this was the biggest, the biggest result straight away. To be there as a sister, and to be now there as a friend or a partner to my husband, just be there for them and listen to them instead of trying to, to force them what you think is right.
And who gets to decide what is right or wrong anyway?
Exactly. Who knows? Yeah, that's true.
Oh, what a tremendous journey. What a tremendous journey. Thank you so much for sharing that. So tell us, Lia, do you have any programs coming up? Anything exciting going on in your world?
I have one program. This is called the Leadership Program. It is an annual program that I support entrepreneurs, business owners, visionaries all around the world to identify who they are, love and accept themselves, dream and make their dreams their reality. It is experiential. It is the only program in the world that lasts so long, and it is experiential. So it's not only me. I'm not teaching. You experience. This is the difference. And because you experience and you interact, you realize how you behave.
Yeah.
And you actually make a decision if you want to keep behaving like this or change it to get other results. It is a results-oriented program. We work on mind, heart, body, and business skills. So it's 360
I love
program.
it. Yeah. Mind, heart, body, and business.
Business. Yeah.
Love it.
So we get rid of all the blocks regarding selling and money.
Yeah.
But the basis is that we connect with our heart.
Yeah.
And this is how we can lead our mind efficiently. And we learn to listen to the body signals, because our body immediately sends us signals if something is out of the ordinary. Okay. So it's 360 program. I'm also running a Facebook group, Intelligent Leaders, Entrepreneurs Who Build Thriving Businesses. So if some of your audience would like to join me, and this is my community, this is where I do my lives every day, and I am there full on with posts and supporting people to lead with increased self-awareness, please join. You are all of you are welcome. And I'm active on LinkedIn as well, so this is how you can find me. Send me a message on Facebook, LinkedIn, or join my group to have a taste of what I do and how I do it as well.
So just when we finish this conversation, will you kindly leave all your links, all the links to the group and to your profile, just so that we have everything in one place?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, with pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me today. It has been a pleasure to get to know you a bit more and to talk about my journey.
Likewise.
And I think we relate a lot.
Yes. Yes, because as coaches, we have first worked on ourselves, haven't we? So we have been on a journey ourselves. And like you said, it's such a privilege to be able to help other people achieve their goals and find more joy and ease in their lives.
Yes. Yeah. So true. Yeah.
So yes, definitely we have lots of commonalities. Well, Lia, thank you so much for coming and talking to us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you to everybody who has joined us live. Bye-bye.
Bye.